Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Open Up podcast, Sunday episode, actually. Uh, and my name is Sivam Velaitham, and I'm the founder and president at Voice of Men 360. Just a few information about our organization before I bring our guest for today. Voice of Men 360 is a non-profit organization founded in 2020 in London, Ontario, Canada, dedicated to supporting men and boys through life challenges. We align with the International Men's Day movement and its six pillars, which promote the well-being of men and boys worldwide. Open Up creates a safe, inclusive space for people from all walks of life to share their life journeys, challenges, and triumphs. The program airs Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, featuring one guest per episode. Before I introduce our special guest today, I would like to review our disclaimer. We would like to remind everyone that Voice of Men 360 is committed to promoting peaceful harmony in all our interactions. The views and opinions shared by our speakers are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of Voice of Men 360. Please note that our content is not a substitute for professional medical or therapeutic advice. If you are struggling with personal challenges, we strongly encourage you to reach out to qualified expert. For questions and concerns about today's episode or any of our content, feel free to email us at info@voiceomen360.org. Like I said earlier, we have an amazing guest for today. His name is Lam Gordan. He's a registered social worker, psychotherapist, founder and clinical director of Legacy Counselling, and mental health and performance therapist. Um, Welcome, Lam.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for joining.
Of course.
Let's dive in. Absolutely, for the viewers, I will be sharing, displaying his contact details. Later on, you guys can go visit his website and reach out to him. Absolutely. Let's start with your work. Actually, you have worked with adolescents, adult athletes, and professionals.
hmm
Across these different groups, what are some of the most common emotional struggles you see men facing today?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and what I think is most common in between all the different groups is the anxiety and depression. Now, in the sense of with anxiety and depression, people don't have a formal understanding of what those look like or how they show up in our day to day lives. And we often have a narrow picture of what the mental health struggle around those things tend to look like. So, what I see is a lot of anxiety can also be looking like consistent overthinking, always feeling on edge, being unable to relax or sleep.
I think he is.
Hello, hi.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Depression can look like losing interest in things you normally enjoy, withdrawing from people, feeling exhausted, or struggling with motivation. But in a sense, not understanding fully what anxiety and depression look like.
Absolutely, yeah. Of course, not only professions but ordinary people too.
Hi, hello.
Yeah, can you hear me? So a lot of people are going through under depression, especially men. Um, so many men still Lam, can you hear me? I think he has some technical issues, just disconnected. So, just a quick announcement.
Hi, hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, there we go.
All right. So, are you using your phone or laptop?
Phone current.
Okay. So, I was saying not only ordinary people, I mean professionals, but also ordinary people, we are going through a lot of stresses, especially men. Yeah, that has to be, give high priority and then discuss about that. So many men still hesitate to talk about their mental health. In your experience, what are the biggest barriers preventing men from asking for help, and how can we begin to change that culture?
Yeah, no, another great question. One of the biggest barriers I see for men is simply the lack of understanding about what therapy actually has to offer. Um, from my experience, many men think therapy is only for someone who's experiencing serious mental health crisis, or that you have to be seriously struggling with depression or anxiety before you have a reason to go. But I often challenge it and say that therapy can be much more than that. Instead of framing therapy as something you need because something is going wrong in your life, we should be framing it as a tool for self growth, self awareness, and personal development. Because we already encourage men to invest into their physical health. We tell them to go to the gym, to see a physiotherapist when they're injured, hire coaches to improve their performance, and to see doctors for preventative care. So we should be able to think of mental health and emotional health in the same light, and I think that is what's holding men back as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, totally agree. Because a lot of men, even though we say it, even sometimes ourselves, it's not easy because that's the way we've grown up. That's the way the society it's put men under certain frame or categories. So it's very hard for them to come out from those barriers.
Yeah.
But that we had to break the cycle, we had to break the stigma. So, uh, yeah, we had to start somewhere. So there's a common belief that asking for help is a sign of weakness. Why do
Yeah.
you believe reaching out to out is actually act of strength? And what would you say to a man who has been silently struggling?
Yeah, this is an interesting question. I often think about it in a very simple way, in the sense that imagine if there's a large stone that you need to move. It's so heavy that your life depends on moving it, but you physically can't move it on your own. So you pick up your phone and you call for help. In this moment, you aren't weak because you're calling to ask for help. You're recognizing that the task requires a little bit more strength than one person could provide. I think of mental health in a very or similar light. Sometimes we need another person or professional to help us understand what we're carrying, develop the tools to manage it, and also see the situation from a different perspective. But to the second part to your question, what I would tell any man who's been silently struggling is that you don't have to wait until the weight becomes unbearable before you ask somebody for help. Asking for help requires a lot of self awareness, it requires humility, but it also requires courage. So, reaching out isn't an admission that you can't handle your life or the things going on in your life. It's recognizing that you don't have to handle it alone. But that's what I would say.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of men that they have kind of like a misunderstanding, or oh, I can handle it, take it easy. Of course, take it easy, but the thing is like when you cannot handle it anymore, it's always good to ask, just call a friend or whoever you can. Otherwise, it's going to be, it will be very different situation though. So we
Yeah.
don't want to see those negative situations. So um, many men tie their identity to their career, athletic performance, or ability to provide. What happens when those roles change or disappear, and how can men build a healthier sense of identity?
Yeah, no. I actually, reflecting on this question, I actually think this is one of the biggest challenge for men and high achieving men is learning how to separate their identity from their role. And to put it into context, a career, an athletic identity, a relationship, or being a provider can be an important part of who you are and who individuals are. Those things give you things like purpose, structure, and confidence, and also a sense of accomplishment in your life, which are all great things. But the problem is when we start believing the role is who we are, because what happens when the career ends, or for example, what happens when an injury takes away your ability to perform, what happens when you retire, what happens when a relationship ends or your financial circumstances change. If your entire identity is built around that role, losing that role will genuinely feel like you're losing yourself. And this is why I encourage men to ask themselves a very simple question: is who am I outside of this role? What are the values? What are the kind of friends? What kind of father? What kind of partner? What kind of son? What kind of brother do you want to be in this world? What do you care about? Gives you what gives your life meaning beyond what you do day to day? But you get to choose who you are during these life transitions and when life changes, um, and that's what should remain the same.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. Because a lot of men, they struggle with identity, especially, or maybe, if we put it the other way around, they detach, or they don't want to attach with the world anymore. Say they want to isolate themselves when they don't have a purpose in the life, or um, it's in the middle of nowhere, right? So it's very hard. So that question is very important, asking yourself over and over again, so that can lead to a positive direction, I believe, which is,
Exactly.
um, who am I, and then what can I do to myself, or how can I help others, all right? Things like that. Absolutely. Major life challenges, changes, such as becoming a father, changing careers, divorce, retirement, or losing loved one, can be overwhelming. What practical strategies can help men navigate these transitions with resilience?
Yeah, no, the things that automatically come to mind is first allowing yourself to grieve what you are leaving behind. Even positive transitions involve loss. Like becoming a father can mean losing certain freedoms. Retirement can mean losing a professional identity. Divorce can mean losing a relationship or a partner or a vision for the future. You can be grateful for what's ahead while still grieving what's currently changing. But overall, I think allowing yourself to grieve what you left behind. Another thing would be to focus on what you can control. During major life transitions, there can be a lot of uncertainty and a lot of things going on. Rather than trying to solve everything at once, identify what is within your control, and focus on that specifically. But lastly, I would also add to create a structure during uncertainty. like when everything feels different, maintaining some basic routines can provide a bit of stability, like sleeping on time, exercising, meals, working out, social connections, and making time for yourself. But still making sure you're doing these things in the mix of the life transitions can be really helpful for individuals.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, at least if you come to that point that you cannot take it anymore or you cannot handle, just call that friend, talk to
Exactly.
somebody you can, right? Because of course sometimes at that time so much thinking, thoughts going on, and then you cannot really make up your mind. So it's good to have at least have a discussion or talk with a trusted person. So
Close friend, relative. Mhm.
yeah, absolutely. And so for men dealing with ongoing stress, anxiety, or emotional pressure, what
Yeah.
are a few simple evidence-based habits they can start practicing today to improve their mental well-being?
Yeah, no, great practical question. Something that can be implemented right away into one's life or one's routine is moving your body regularly or exercising. But I want you to think about it. Exercise isn't just about your physical health. It's proven to help reduce stress, improve mood, and regulate anxiety. And it doesn't have to be super intense workouts. It can be a 20 or 30-minute walk or cut some type of workout, some type of recreational activity can also work. But then I would also suggest meditation. Another thing as well is making sure that you're protecting your sleeping patterns. Consistent quality sleep has major impact on concentration, stress, and emotional regulation. So I would aim for relatively consistent sleep and wake time, and to create a little bit of distance of screen time before you go to bed. But lastly, I would add is to learn to notice what you're feeling. Many men are taught to push through emotions rather than to try and to understand them. Take a few minutes to ask what you're currently feeling. What are you triggered? What are you triggered by? And what do you need right now? But things like this give us a better chance at preventing emotions from building up.
Absolutely. So one famous line, of course, is kind of like a tagline nowadays. It's okay to not to be okay.
Yes.
So don't feel too bad or shamed or guilty, or what, I have mental stress, or I am dealing with this and that. Of course, basically we are human being. You can do only so much. You can handle so much. It's okay. You
So
don't
yeah,
need
yeah,
to worry too much. At least, like we always say, just a call a friend or somebody you can trust them, and then have a
yeah.
quick talk or whatever works for you. Like Lam was saying, simple talk, walk or meditation, or even some people for listening music, or whatever works.
Whatever that outlet is, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, so, um, if every man and boy listening today uh, could walk away with just one message about mental health and emotional resilience, what would you want that message to be?
If I can let the viewers walk away with one message, the message would be that through every situation, the sun will rise again, meaning that you'll get another chance at this difficult but beautiful thing we call life. And it's another chance to get 1% better than yesterday. But through every situation, the sun will rise again.
Absolutely. Thank you for the wonderful message.
Of course.
What does open up mean to you when it comes to men's mental wellness and men's issues, and why is it important?
Pardon me, sorry.
So the question is, what does open up mean to you when it comes to men's mental wellness and men's issues, and why is it important?
Open up to me in relation to men's mental health means having a connection or a mutual connection with um, a cousin, a friend, a coworker, somebody that is close in your life, and being able to share the ups with them, but then also being able to communicate and share the downs with them, and being able to bounce ideas off of each other and different perspectives off of each other. And the reason why I think it's important for men is because when problems usually happen, and in my experience in the men that I work with, is when issues happen, they um, like to be closed off and try and tackle the issue individually. When there's people that love you and are great allies to you and your family and your life that will help you in the heartbeat.
Absolutely, yeah. For those who are listening to that episode and the discussion, absolutely. So we just want to create awareness. So every man, they can open up and then they can talk and then they can reach out to people. They don't have to suffer yourself. You don't have to carry that burden inside you. Absolutely. So just to have a few announcements and then I will come back to you, Lam. Okay, stay there. Okay.
Sounds good.
Um, so one thing I displayed his contact details, website and phone number, email address. Please go to his website and then you can send him email and then even you can reach out to him. Absolutely. Couple of announcements from our organization. Open up, sharing your life journey. It's on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time as you are watching now. And then that's wherever you can be. And then if you are willing to share your life journey, discuss about men's, boys issues, absolutely you are more than welcome. No matter what, whether the race or I would say gender or any no there are no limitations with the age, gender, nationality or ethnic groups. Anyone can share, join and share your life journey. So somewhere some people they can get their message and then they can simply change their mindset. And then Willie is a Tamil live talk show. It's on Sunday 8 a.m. Eastern time. Monthly men's group meeting only for men by men. Second Saturday of every month from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time through Zoom. No recordings. Please join through Zoom. The link is available on our Facebook page and group. Um, Coming back to you, Lam. So how does culture, family, upbringing, or societal expectations shape the way men express or suppress their emotions? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think it completely shapes our identity in the way of how we think and how we react to the way that this world is and the certain things that life throws at us. And I do believe as we progress on as a culture that things like mental health conversations are going to be more normalized in a lot of cultures and a lot of settings. But currently, a lot of men weren't raised speaking about mental health and taking time and putting time aside to focus on that area of their life. But your culture, your family upbringing, and your societal expectations, they 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 very much reflect and impact who you are and your outlook on life.
Yeah, I agree with that because even if you ask me a couple of years back, I wouldn't say much, or I wouldn't even say what to say, because we never heard about mental health or mental wellness or anything. So that's the way we grown up, and then especially men, and some cultures is very strict and then limited to any social resources. So there are a number of factors, number of barriers, makes that um, connection grow. So you have worked with athletes and high performing for professionals.
Yes.
Are there lessons from performance psychology that can help everyday men become mentally stronger without satisfying their well-being?
Yeah, no, great question. I think the biggest lesson in working with these type of or that type of population is that mental strength isn't about consistently pushing yourself harder. It's about knowing how to perform, recover, adapt, and to respond when things aren't going your way or don't go according to plan. But I would say that's the biggest lesson.
Yeah, absolutely. While you are teaching, you are also learning too. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of times, because, like I said earlier, we are human being, so we don't know where we lose hope or we end up in the wrong direction. So we need some sort of guidance and support too, right? So what role do friendships and supportive relationship play in men's mental health, and how can men begin building deeper, healthier connections?
I think I actually think this kind of dynamic plays one of the biggest roles in men's mental health, because before any individual, but men specifically, will mentally come to the point where they'll tell themselves that they need to or should embark on a counseling journey or professional services. I do think this should be the first line of mental health support for men. Having a strong enough friendship and a strong enough connection to someone or people or a group of people that you're comfortable enough to talk about things that are going on in your life, whether they're positive or negative. But I do think that this is very important and should act as the first line of support.
Absolutely. Probably in 10 years back, or even 5 years back, even before social media accounts. Nowadays, we see a lot of videos and even celebrities, they are coming out and they are speaking, especially, and even genuinely females, women are supporting men's mental health, absolutely. But we had to have more discussion, more and more discussion, so this way we can
Yes.
create more awareness so people can shouldn't take you know negative or wrong decision, um, so they can have a um, positive impact in their lives. So as a therapist, what gives you hope about the future of men's mental health? Are you seeing positive changes in younger generations?
Yeah, what gives me hope about men's mental health is being able to have conversations like this with yourself and individuals like me, because I think we do and we are shedding light on something that is underlooked in the mental health field and in this world in general. And I think more conversations like this will either introduce the topic to people who don't know, or give further information and knowledge to the people who have heard about things like this. But there's definitely a positive change in relation to the younger generations, and how it should be is that the we learn from our answers is before us, and we try and make things better for the people that are coming behind us. And I think the younger generation coming behind us have a lot of tools in relation to mental health and mental fortitude.
Absolutely, yeah. Just want to close with this question, or maybe one more, but this is just just come to my mind. What inspired you to become a therapist or registered as social worker, or probably in this category? Why did you choose, or what was kind of like influence or inspired?
No, that's a good question. And to answer your question, I would say by God's grace, I was fortunate enough to overcome a lot of life's hurdles and life's challenges, and was able to progress to the point where I was able to obtain a university degree from University of Waterloo, and then go embark on my master's at the University of Toronto. And the mental fortitude I had in those challenging moments, I thought were remarkable enough that it didn't mean that I was special than others because I was able to do it while going through those things. But now that I have the knowledge of how to maneuver out of these life challenges and life situations, I'd be selfish if I weren't able to share the knowledge that I have, which propelled me to the position that I am now, which is a lovely position to be in.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
The final question is that can you share more details? Can you talk about you know, um, your service, which is Legacy Life Counseling, and what else you do, things like that, so people can get to know more, and then possibly, I'm very positive they can reach out to you. Yeah.
Yeah, so over at Legacy Life Counseling, we're a psychotherapy private practice that handles mental health concerns around anxiety, depression, burnout, and lifestyle management, life transitions in relation to careers, education, sports, or independence, relationship challenges and communication challenges, but then also professional and academic performance pressure. But we embody all of these things and tackle it through a CBT and DBT lens. And we also incorporate solution based therapy and also acceptance and commitment based therapy. Um, but then that's our services over at Legacy Life Counseling. We have our website that's attached down below, and a phone number that you can reach out and call to at any time. And the email is listed below as well.
Absolutely, Lam. So thanks a lot for joining, and then at the
Of
same
course.
time for the audience, so I'm displaying our contact details, phone number, and the email address and the website address, so you can reach out to us. And absolutely, if anything that comes to your mind, anyone can reach out to us regarding to anything, either if you have any mental health crisis, especially men, of course, you have other numbers, but thing is like if you want to be part of the show or anything. But yeah, Lam, thanks a lot to you, and then absolutely, I'm very you know excited, and then open to collaborate, and then see how we can help more men through our collaboration though. Absolutely.
No, for sure. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and take care. And then for the audience, please share this the video episode with other people, so we can reach out more people. We can absolutely serve more people. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Lam, once again. Thank you.
Cheers. Take care.